Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing the new GMC Acadia AT4, aka GMC's Jeep Fighter. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer GMC here in North Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Acadia AT4. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood of the AT4 is a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 328 horsepower and then 326 pound-feet of torque. And I like how they have got like some carbon fiber print here on the engine cover. It's pretty cool looking. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you can see it's raised there on either side. It has a very kind of like boxy truck-like look because of that. I mean, similar to what you have on like the Sierra truck, for example. And I like these new C-shaped lights up front. I think it looks really cool overall. And then you can see with the grille, just like other AT4s, kind of like a darker finish. Got the AT4 logo. And then interesting with the fog light there, that's just kind of like a little bit, almost like diagonal of the headlight. And then we do have the red toe hooks, also an AT4 thing. And I like this with the coloration. That's pretty cool looking. And you can see we've got the little like bash plate there at the very bottom. It gives it that off-roader look. But overall, the front end of this, I think it looks really sharp. Now this is impressive. 265 by 65 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. So yeah, that's a real like off-roader setup. These are some pretty beefy tires for what is ultimately a mall-crawling mommy SUV, so that's cool. You guys can see there with the wheels, you got the silver with the metallic gray, kind of like an off-roader theme. And I like the fender flares actually, they look pretty sharp on this, that's cool. Little lighting element there built into that. AT4 here on the side, and then you guys can see with the cladding there at the very bottom. And then notice the mirror cap is blacked out, but then the door handles are body painted. And then taking a few steps back, yeah, you can see those big tires really help out with the overall look of just making this look a little bit more like an off-roader. That's cool. And this leads us to the key fob. We've got a lock and unlock function, remote start, opening for the hatch, and then you got the GMC logo, and we'll press that a couple times and boom. Now popping into the rear, you can see we've got storage space underneath the floor. Now this is similar in size to the previous gen Tahoe, so you've got a decent amount of space behind the third row. And I like this for the cargo cover if you want to integrate one of those. That's nice. With the third row, you just throw it down manually. So if you guys want to see what that looks like, there you go. I mean, that's quite a bit of space with that thrown down. That's huge. And you can throw it on the second row if you want as well. But look at that third row passenger. It's a little cup holder. Got a little USB too. So when you're all done, just press this button right here, and that will lower the hatch right back down. This taillight design looks pretty sharp. Then you guys can see with the blacked out trim there, GMC logo front and center, AT4 down below, and then Acadia all-wheel drive, of course. And then you got the 4 exhaust tips. My joke that I've made is that you've got an exhaust tip per cylinder with this. But that's the rest of the rear. And if you look down below, you can see just how wide those tires are. It's a cool look. Now taking a look at the door panel, you can see we've got soft touch here at the top. I think this trim piece is pretty cool looking. And then look at the stitching there. That's fun. Lots of colors happening, I think. A little bit of storage there. See a speaker for the sound system. And then here are the seats. It's very interesting what they've done here. So again, you've got the multicolored stitching, and then you got the normal AT4 coloration there. And they have like little cloth inserts here on the sides of the seat, I guess to kind of break things up. Maybe to save a little bit per seat, because cloth is less expensive than leather. Now legroom here in the second row is pretty dang solid. Got a little storage pocket, some cup holders here, and then we've got our own climate zone, as well as heated seats. And this one, I forgot to mention, does have the captain chair configuration, so we've got little armrests here, and then we've got the center here, which is a void. And then headroom is good. Now getting to the third row is pretty easy. You just have that latch right there, and you can just push the second row seat forward. Obviously, smaller kids can crawl between the two seats if they want. This is so funny, they get their own head there in the back. But here's a quick look at the seat itself. Again, you got the same trim there as the center seats, so they look nice overall. Headroom back there, you can see it's pretty solid. But if you look at the leg space here, I know the seat's folded down, it's a little bit more cramped, so just like most third rows and most crossovers slash SUVs, I say reserve this for kids. You can fit adults back there, but they're going to be a little bit more cramped. Now take a look at the front door panel again. You've got all that soft touch trim here, and then nice trim down below, and then this is cool with all the soft touch trim, and then that fun stitching. Got all of our window controls there, automatic for the front one, mirror adjustments. Do you have blind spot ring with the mirrors? I'm interested to see the payload on this. 1,502 pounds, it's not bad. AT4 there on the headrest, perforated all down the center portion. There's our adjustments on the side. And then you guys can see here with the drive mode, select the parking brake. Right now it's in two-wheel drive, but you can pop it in all-wheel drive if you want. Got your auto stop start as well. And then the interesting dash design. Now here's a quick look at the steering wheel. You can see this one comes with Super Cruise. That's one of the easy ways to tell us there's just a little bar there at the top. Paddle shifters in the back for that 8-speed. We got radio controls as well, kind of like below the paddle shifters. If that makes sense. And then you've got practical controls in the front, so like for the center, heated steering wheel. You've got your cruise control as well. And then we have our turn signal slash windshield wiper stalk. And then we have a column shifter with this. Now I have the center gauge cluster here, and notice that it shows us that we're in two-wheel drive right now. It also shows you range, and you've got the nav map on top of that, which is pretty cool. But you can change the gauge cluster to display different bits of info, so it's cool how that's a little bit more customizable. Now I've got this really sharp 360 camera system here with the Acadia. You can see I have a bunch of different angles with it, really good resolution as well. And now this leads us to the rest of the infotainment system. So first off, response time with the screen, I'd say it's pretty solid. And yes, you got the controls tab because there is quite a bit built into the infotainment system. So we got hill descent control, again, it's an off-roader, but you also have like stuff like your traction control, and you can see with the light control there as well, and got the see more controls tab. So lights to turn them on or off with the vehicle, it's all here in the infotainment system. There's some other stuff that's typically in the infotainment system, so like the parking stuff and all that. But yeah, it's interesting that they're kind of going towards that. And then you also have some other features like ambient lighting with this as well, which is pretty cool. Tons of different colors that you can choose between. And then we have the bottom section of the screen, which is kind of like the shortcut section. So for example, with the seats, I can pop it up, and we've got heated and cooled seats with this dual zone climate. You got the shortcut for the lights as well if you want to quickly access that. So they make that pretty easy. And then we do have some toggle switches here associated with that. So like to change the temperature, for example, with a little toggle switch. We got the wireless phone charging pad here. Got a USB section. This is cool with this trim. Got some cup holders. Pretty big center console. Nice sturdy feel with it. And you got some nice trim and stitching. And then I'll kind of dip the camera down here because we do have some storage. I feel like the best way to show that. I guess we're on the topic of storage. Glove box. This is nice with the trim that goes across the dash. Portion's pretty cool. Camera rear view mirror, so it's always a nice feature to have. And then we got controls here for the sunroof. We got a panoramic sunroof here in the Acadia. So here's our window sticker for this 2024 Acadia AT4. A lot of stuff is standard equipment, and this is cool. So you've got all-wheel drive active torque control. So that means that when you're not in all-wheel drive, I guess that system wouldn't, I mean, let me know if I'm wrong, but that system wouldn't be working. Anyways, Super Cruise, $34.90 for the option that comes with that, and then a couple other things like parking assist. Luxury package, which gives you the heads-up display and stuff, and then the color. But I mean, base MSRP is $50 on it. Total MSRP on this is $57,930. And with that being said, that's going to sum things up. I did a driving review with a Denali, so if you want to see how this new Acadia drives, go watch that review. The AT4, I mean, it might drive slightly different with these all-terrain tires, right? They're going to create a little bit more cushion, so the ride quality Probably be a little bit better than the Denali. Again, smaller wheels, more sidewall with the tires. But aside from that, the engine performance, driving dynamics, all of that's pretty much going to be the same between both of them. But let me know what you guys think about this. I think I'd rather have this than the Denali, because that Denali was like $63,000. This, on the other hand, is at $57,000 with the looks and the features and everything that has. I don't know. I'd rather go AT4. Let me know if you go AT4 or Denali, but I'm on Team AT4 in this case.